I can barely tell time between the East Coast and West Coast.
Keep going. Keep going, Sean.
He puts the
We're live.
time down.
Welcome to the Gun and Gear Review podcast, where we review guns and gear. I'm your host, Chad Wallace, from Oregon.
Nice. You need to work on that, Sean.
This is why Rob says a disclaimer every week, because sometimes after we go live,
Sean's here saying terrible things.
Yeah. If you're easily offended,
Okay.
hit the stop button.
Let's get this thing started for real. Welcome to the Firearms Insider Gun and Gear Review Podcast, episode 230. On this show, we showcase gun reviews, gear, and anything else the gun enthusiast may be looking for. We strive to evaluate.
Chad Wallace.
No, I already said that. We strive to evaluate products from an unbiased and honest perspective. I'm your host, Sean
Chad Wallace.
Blackbag Resources from the Firearms Radio Network, your source for broadcasts for shooters, hunters, and all things firearms related. In this show, we will be discussing an AK for Rob and a shotgun for Zane. And tonight on the podcast, we have the typical Rob, Zane, Tony, and a special returning guest, Sean Fisher from Black Bag Resources.
Finally, Big Sean has come back to the podcast.
So be wary.
Sean was gone.
Sean is back. So I don't know if I can hold the reins on him.
Maybe the hate mail will come in about him for a little bit.
Oh, dude.
I'm tired of being the brunt of all the hate mail.
If anybody's listening live, they're already furiously typing away. I thought you fired him. I demand you double fire him. Chad, I paid you to get rid of that guy.
The sad part is on this podcast, anybody who wants to come on will be hired. We're not very picky in who we take.
Just so the listeners are aware, he is on double secret probation.
Oh, is that what he's on?
Yeah.
Double secret probation.
I thought his sabbatical was done, and that's why he was back.
Nah, man, I got lost on my way home.
Oh, okay. Well, it's too bad they found you.
Whoa!
Look at Chad with a zinger from Chad.
Wow, Sean, you gonna let him punch you like that?
Yeah, I'm just gonna stand here and let him scuff my New Balance like that.
Okay, so which one of you tricksters wants to start with what they did in firearms? Nobody.
I'll start since there's not a stampede toward the microphone. Went out, took 2 ARs with me, took the Rob rifle out, make sure it was zeroed and ready for prime time for Thursday's diversity shoot, and I also took out the dissipator. Put some rounds down range, made sure it's on for both the diversity shoot and just some fun stuff. And it's awesome. I really need to get my glasses fixed because the stigmatism is killing the brother. I see 4 of everything in the red dot. It just all clusters together like a kaleidoscope.
It's great at the nudie bar, but terrible at the range.
Yeah, it's like, look at all them girls. But at the range is like 4 bullseyes, 4 reticles. But man, did I shoot one heck of a group. It was like a 1-holer. I think it's 5 rounds through pretty much 1 hole. So yeah, it works. Fundamentals work. I just picked a crazy sight picture and stuck with it through 5 trigger pulls.
Hey, as long as you're consistent, that's all that matters, right? And you proved it.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, the fundamentals are fundamentals. You get on target and you don't move. You do your breathing, you follow through, and you have a great trigger like that Trojan Firearms trigger. And, yeah, it's a done deal.
Sweet. I guess everybody else is just... Rob, what'd you do?
Let's see, I've been gone for 2 weeks. So let's see, last week I wasn't here because I was in an undisclosed part of North Carolina helping a relative tear down a deer stand. So we were out there getting her a game plot ready and tearing down this wonderful deer stand. And halfway through this endeavor, I looked around and I said, guys, you realize there's 4 men out here that are fairly intoxicated with power tools, a chainsaw, and a Kubota tractor. This is an exercise that probably belongs on YouTube.
Did you film it?
What?
Did you film it then?
Yes, I did, but I don't think I'm allowed to release that video.
Oh.
Thankfully, no one was hurt, no one got killed, and the deer stand actually came down. Or the deer blind actually came down.
Is it kind of like a Deliverance movie, or?
Yeah, it was kind of surreal.
Reason he can't release it is because it has a XXX rating.
I gotcha. Well,
when this thing needed to come down, it was literally one of those where you walk in and the only thing keeping you from falling through was the carpet.
Oh, yeah.
And the carpet was there was no floor.
So if you waited another year, it would have been on the ground and you could have just hauled it away.
Well, no, the problem is that the floor sucked in it, but the 4x4s that were supporting it, whoever built it did a good job actually building the frame. They just skimped on the floor of this thing.
Gotcha.
So anyways, we did that, did a range trip, hung out with the family, all that good stuff. Nice little vacation.
Oh, that's good. Okay, Zane, what'd you do?
I bought some stuff. Now I've been playing around with a couple different things here. I've been working with this Tough Products holster that it's like a pocket sleeve, but it has a little wing pocket here for speed strip. Here in South Florida, there are times when I roll around in cargo shorts and don't have a shirt on. I know that sounds scary, but you'll get over it. It's Florida. I'm Florida man. So
sounds like the start of every episode of Cops.
Well, yes, or Criminal Minds, whichever you're fancy. No, but so I've been playing around with this a little bit around the house, just seeing how it works and how I like it and stuff before I go out in public with it. It's not terrible. I also got a new ankle kit for medical stuff, and I have on it right now my Patriot Patch Company taxation is theft patch. So, and also bought a set of sights, but they haven't come in yet. So all I did was spend money, though. I didn't actually get to press any triggers.
Well, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Well, spending money because of what you spend it on, I guess, is good. So there is that.
Gotta have
Sean,
stuff.
Since you've been gone, you've probably done all kinds of stuff, but tell us about it.
Since you've been gone.
Oh, please don't sing.
I've kind of had my hands on a lot of things. Yeah. A lot of it has to do with my day job, just pulverizing me with late assignments and stuff. And I'm actually on the road at the moment wrapping up. But there's a bunch of things. I don't know if you guys know Matt Fritz over at Timber Creek, but he's my rep over there. He's kind of I have a love-hate relationship with Matt. He's wonderful. He's a great sales rep. He unfortunately convinces me to buy a lot of stuff. So he's got me doing a lot more AR projects than what I was doing before because I really do like the Timber Creek furniture and accessories and parts and all that stuff. So, I kind of got to a point where I was bored with ARs, and it's renewed that interest because you can do so many fun things just with color combinations and all that. So I've been playing Legos a lot. Had a bunch of customers come back that I guess got their tax return money and were like, yeah, let's build an AR. I've been waiting to do it. This is my first one. This is my 15th one, and I see the stuff you have from Timber Creek looks like a lot of fun. So I want to do that. The other thing, and probably the second biggest reason I haven't been on the podcast other than Chad firing me repeatedly is on Tuesday nights, I'm teaching a class called Martial Guncraft over at Martial Strength Fitness Academy with Mike Wolf from Justifiable Force. And we're doing a lot of dry fire training with the CERT laser pistol training tool. And that's eating up a lot of my Tuesday nights. So it's good. We've got people with no firearms experience, people with some firearms experience, and people with a lot of firearms experience. And we're kind of taking like a martial arts approach to that training where it's recurring and continual and regular, and not like you take a class maybe once every 2 years or you go to the range every 3 months. every week you're in there training and working on this stuff. So a lot of it is guided dry fire. A lot of it is dry fire drills and working with actual firearms instructors, because you guys kind of know who I am at this point, and I know Mike and I have talked about, or Tony and I have talked about Mike on the program before. Mike has a ton of valuable experience and knowledge from the fighting side of things. So kind of blending both worlds, doing a lot of that. It's been well received. We're hoping to push it out to a point where we add a distance learning program, kind of like CrossFit has their workout of the day. We'll be able to share what we're doing in our program with people all over the place, and they can participate in it. I've got 2 people signed up for that already, and it's just a matter of getting all the pieces in place to get them started. So it's fun, it's interesting, and it's a different approach to firearms training. We're certainly not the first in the world to do it. There have been other instructors who've taken this approach and kind of gone about it that way, but I don't know that any of them have actually locked into it with the continual process the way it's designed. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
Sweet. Sounds like kind of a cool program, especially because you have all different, types and probably people and experience levels and stuff. It sounds really cool.
Yeah. And it's because of that, it's an interesting experience as an instructor too, that you've got people who are we had one woman come in and said, I'm not into guns, but I'm curious, so I want to try it. Another one said, I'm terrified to go to the range, but this seems like a way to ease into it. And then we've got other people that are there taking other classes that are competent law enforcement, experienced shooters, all kinds of stuff, and they're doing it too. And it's a little bit of everything. So the goal is to run through the gambit of skills and really get these folks very capable with firearms. There's going to be live fire testing in addition to the dry fire training that goes on. But it's like I said, it's a really interesting experience as an instructor to be able to approach it that way and work with the same people over and over and over and over and over again and really push them to progress in a way that's different than what you normally do, right? If you do a 4 or 6 hour class or even a 2-day class over a weekend, you only get to move them so far, right? You only move their skill set so far before you turn them loose and you go, all right, I hope you practice this and maybe I'll never see you again.
Right, because you run out of time, literally. And
right.
If it's reoccurring and they come back once a week, I mean, even if you don't teach them near as much stuff, the retention is better also usually.
Yeah, and it's a 45-minute block. And, for the last 4 weeks, all we've really focused on is grip. So you've got 4 45-minute blocks of grip training and drills that work on grip and changing things up, but it's all grip focused. We talked about sights tonight for the first time, which was weird. And it only happened because one of the students asked the question, because everything we've done so far is unsighted fire, right? It's aimed fire, but you're not using the sights. So, like I said, a really interesting experience from an instructor standpoint. Students have been extremely receptive to it. We've certainly seen improvement, across the board. And even in that 45-minute block, you see the light come on for a lot of people going, oh, this makes sense. And I guess just by way of a quick plug, you can either see it on my page on Instagram, or if you go to Marshall Strength, you'll see it on their page too, because Mike's real good at like the photo editing and stuff, and he'll post pictures and videos and things. Kind of drives me nuts. I don't like doing video quite as much as I used to, but he sneaks it in there, and he's always got the camera over my shoulder and recording me and in moments where I don't realize I'm being recorded. So
sweet.
It's very candid.
We should totally do a show on sights sometime, because there's so many different sighting systems out there, and
we could probably break it into products for like iron sights, night sights, or tritium sights, and then
that's what I'm saying.
Then like optics.
Well, I had a listener even one time like message me on Instagram and was asking about my preferred sighting methods on handguns, and which it has changed. It has changed over the years. So,
Yeah.
you know.
I prefer to close my eyes, scream like a girl, and just smash the trigger while flinging the end of the pistol forward like a whip.
Well, we all know that it is
70 per second.
Yeah. We all know it's completely impossible to see your sights in a gunfight because the internet told me so.
Right.
Yeah, well,
it's useless.
Those Patriot Patch people still haven't made me the kilt laying in the streets.
Kilt in the streets.
Yeah, I want a kilt in the street patch. That's another one that I will absolutely pay for. I'm not a patch guy. I think patches are like, I'd rather spend my money on like ammo or something. But
all right,
like,
I missed the joke somewhere. Somebody explain the kilt thing.
Well,
Kilt-
it'll get you
in the
killed in the
streets.
streets.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
So you put
Yes.
literally a kilt in the streets on like a patch.
So I think I'm like the only gun guy that doesn't have a patch wall. But I'm telling you what, I got taxation as theft, and if they release a kilt in the streets, that was definitely going on. I guess I'll have to get a patch wall at that point.
We gotta get people out there thinking about it. Maybe I should put something up and post it on Instagram or something.
I'm willing to bet that one would do pretty well if you used my knees to model it.
Oh jeez.
With all the stars.
Oh jeez. Here we go.
Yeah. Okay. I
actually have just the kilt for the occasion.
Of course he does. Got to get the mileage out that kilt.
Listen, you guys will all buy the patch. You know Chad's going to get the T-shirt. Zane's going to put it on a Speedo.
Yeah, probably.
He's the only guy in Florida that's got a Velcro Speedo.
Dude, I need a tactical Speedo.
Okay. Well, for your information,
Ryan Cross, wherever you are, we're giving you gold here.
Yeah, he doesn't want it. It's from what I hear, he's okay with it, kind of. But it's that other guy with Patriot Patch that shall remain nameless.
Jake
doesn't like our kill in the streets idea.
I'll talk that other guy. I'll talk that other guy.
What I've learned in the last year about this industry is the more ridiculous you go, the better it sells. So
listen, guys, I think you're right.
Velcro panel Speedos need to happen.
Yeah.
And I guarantee in the next 2 weeks, you see Matt Best wearing one.
Nice.
You're probably not wrong. You're probably not wrong.
Now, if Zane could hurry up and go get one and post a video, he could be the first person wearing one.
See, Zane tried this about a year ago and ended up in the hospital, but he screwed up. He tried using the iron-on patch instead of the Velcro patch. You can't do that while you're wearing it, little buddy.
No, yeah, it's bad. It's third-degree burns and stuff.
Yeah. Well, that directly inhibits your dance moves.
Well, here's the funny part. It wasn't the first time he ironed the patch on. It was the second time. He did it front and back.
Yeah, the second time was bad. Now, it didn't screw up my dance moves as bad as that FBI agent, but we're not going to talk about him.
Yeah, we're not going to
set him up. You knock him down.
Okay. Well, I actually did something in firearms thanks to all these people that sent me stuff.
Awesome.
I finished a pistol caliber carbine, and it's an actual carbine, not like a pistol caliber pistol like Zane.
Well, listen, when you're from Florida, PCP just kind of happens.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Well, there's that.
So Gun Tech sent me their 9mm bolt, which is pretty nice. It's got the weight in it, so any buffer works. They also sent me a comp, which is pretty cool, a little compensator. I don't know with a 9mm how much it helps, but even more cool is this Stern Defense magwell adapter that adapts it for Glock mags. It goes in, it's got some screws with like a plastic plate and a rubber plate. And then right here, if you're watching the video, is the mag release. You just push on it, mag releases, and this one's for Glock mags. It does have last round bolt hold open, and
fancy.
Well, and even better is once the bolt is open, like you can see, your standard release will drop the bolt, which is pretty cool. So I went and tried that out, ran some rounds through it, had zero problems, used a bunch of different ammo. That's actually for review. So eventually when I put enough rounds through it and think it is good, I will do a review on it. So
whose barrel are you using?
This barrel is I don't remember. I bought it. Actually, I traded a friend of mine for some stuff for it. So
is that what you kids are calling it these days?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what we call it in Oregon.
So
We swung a flashlight in Oregon and got a barrel.
Yep.
So with reliability on those things, typically the chamber face is going to be your bread and butter. So whoever, or not the chamber the barrel extension or whatever the proper nomenclature for where the bullet slides into.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep. So
we're real scientific here, folks.
Are you talking about the feed ramps on the barrel extension?
Yep, that's exactly what I'm talking about. The feed ramps on the barrel extension.
Oh my goodness. I had no idea what he was talking about.
we have to dumb it down for those Florida men.
It happens.
I'll speak Florida man. I can translate for you.
I couldn't come up with the word feed ramps for some reason.
He's like, the off-ramp highway extensions. That's usually the problem.
You see, my 9mm was hanging up in the California clover leaf.
I did run some hollow points through it and stuff also, and they fed fine. So far. The stern defense mount or adapter, whatever you want to call it, also has a little teeny feed ramp in it to help get the bullet up there. So that I don't know if that helps.
And where is that mag release? Is it like HK style mag release kind of?
It is. Okay, you can see it. It's right here where my fingers.
Okay, yeah. Pretty much HK mag release.
That's what I was thinking when you hit it. I was like, "Whoa."
Yeah, you just the only problem I can see with it now, and it looks like they could probably fix that somehow, is it's only on the right side. So it's not ambi, and so you have to kind of do a weird thing that you don't want to do to get it to.
Yeah. So like on the one I built, the mag release is in the normal spot.
Right.
But I also don't have last round bolt hold open. So I have a feeling those two things kind of coincide.
Yeah, and the thing is that's one thing you got to get used to is where the mag release is. You try because your just habit is here, but like I said, if they ran a piece, probably make it cost quite a bit more, but a piece over so that you could do it ambi, that would be pretty sweet. But yeah, I think with a lot of these inserts, you can't. They lock into the mag well.
That's where it locks into.
Right, and then it's got a pressure plate type system that pushes against it to help hold it in also.
A pressure plate like a booby trap?
Yeah. It uses a screw, and it's a square that's got a piece of plastic or something on it, and when you tighten the screw down on the bottom, it pushes that plate out to help hold it in. That was a great
review, Chad. Thanks.
It's not even a review yet.
Along to the next section.
Oh, next section. Well, it's about time Sean came back to harass us. Announcements. Bandwidth sponsor is Patriot Patch Co. without their Get You Killed in the Streets patch. There are some new patches for pre-order. One is the Lady Liberty patch, and then the limited edition Firefly 3-pack. So if you're into that stuff, you can order
Taxation
those.
Is theft.
There is that one on there.
Theft.
And ironically, today, my patch of the month came. So if you're watching the video, you can see it. It's the 3 bottle rockets with a lighter.
Excuse me. Did you use the word ironically instead of coincidentally?
Yes.
I mean, English words. It's a thing.
Thanks.
Well, I don't know, but people like Sean don't even know what time 6 Pacific is. 6 Pacific time, where you guys are. I mean, I thought everybody in grade school. No.
All right, so explain. All right, here's my question about the patch. Are they tiny bottle rockets or a giant lighter?
I'm guessing they have to be small bottle rockets.
Either way, you're wrong. You took too long to answer, Chad. Next segment.
No, we can't get into the next segment. We're not done yet. Jeez. No wonder I fired you. Listener support program. Go to the firearmsradio.tv/pledge gun gear review podcast and donate some money to us so we can do cool stuff, which I don't know what is. So.
Yeah, like get Chad a freaking thesaurus. Seriously.
Thesaurus?
Ironically, a thesaurus.
Yeah, it's a big dinosaur, Thesaurus Rex.
Huge.
Yeah, okay.
Was quite eloquent. Died because all the other dinosaurs hated him.
Great. If you're shopping Amazon, use our affiliate link at firearmsradio.tv/Amazon. And this other crap doesn't matter because people are just rude. Oh, if you want to donate to the 2A Free Diversity Shoot and you want to shop Black Bag Resources, which would be a great idea, use the 2A4E and anything in your cart that you buy will be donated to the Diversity Shoot.
Yeah, like a gas tube, gas block, stripped up a receiver.
A2 pistol grips.
Yeah, pistol grips.
Well, actually, I'm just saying the things we need to finish up this bill. But yeah, sure, more pistol grips. Great.
Don't buy them though, because we know you have tons of them. Just send them to the Diversity Shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Rob.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the individual co-hosts and do not reflect the official policy or position of the Firearms Radio Network and or their employers. Viewer discretion is advised. This is especially true on live shows. And since we have no product review tonight, Chad, let's talk about this Atlantic Arms Lynx AK-47 pistol.
That would be a great idea, Rob.
I'm full of them, man.
Yeah, everybody's full of them tonight.
He's full of something.
He's a Florida man. Sorry.
Florida man.
MSRP on this baby is $649. Okay, that's about it. Oh, it is a Polish AK-47 pistol. And basically, I put it in here. They're starting to import them again. It does have a chrome line 10-inch barrel, forged barrel trunnion. I guess it has Polish import markings because it has to. It says it has collectible matching numbers. Standard AK handguards fit it. It has an AK side rail for optics. Okay. It is SBR ready with an underfolder trunnion. So if you buy it and then send in your $200 paperwork, you can wait 10 months and get a tax stamp back and put a stock on it.
Do they make underfolder braces?
I don't know
yet.
Because,
$1 million idea.
Because that's probably what I would want.
Hey, Zane, are you talking for the SIG brace?
Yeah, like a brace that attached to the underfolder.
How would you underfold that around the magazine and everything with the basically you're underfolding a stock almost?
Well, if you made a
Same
different
way an underfolding
style,
stock would work.
right?
Yeah,
Except,
Not very good.
well,
The
yeah.
underfolding stocks are basically a wire tube.
Actually,
Yeah, the AK is fine.
Niet. AK's fine. Actually,
Communist pig dog criticize perfect Russian weapon.
Don't be capitalist pig.
Yes. So the thing's 19 inches long without any stock like it comes. Weight is 5 3/4 pounds empty. And I'm not going to read this other stuff on their website, but basically it is, I believe it's in 7.62 by 39 because it's a 47, not a 74.
Correct.
yes, it is.
And that's pretty much about it. So if you want to build a SBR Shorty AK, this might be right up your alley.
I mean,
Or
technically,
even if you just want to throw a stabilizer brace on it. I mean,
yeah,
those,
it doesn't have
that's a
to
real
fold.
thing.
Right,
Right.
like it doesn't have to fold, but underfolders are cool. It's actually an AKM, not an AK-47.
Shut up.
There's always that
Shut
guy
your
out there.
mouth.
Listen, I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy, but there's always that guy out there, and we'll get an email from him.
They can send me an email, but they should really send Atlantic Firearms an email because their site's the one that says it's an AK-47 pistol. But yes, I think I understand what you're saying there.
It is colloquially accepted to refer to this pistol as an AK-47. However, technical data would state.
My God.
Tony,
my neck beard is getting itchy.
Tony, do you know the ballistics for 7.62 by 39 and what barrel length it shines at?
7.62 out of 7.62 by 39 depends on the barrel length. I mean, a lot of stuff was out of 20-inch barrel.
That's what I'm saying. Out of a 10-inch, are you getting 23, 24, 2,500 feet? I don't know the ballistics on 7.62.
I think you're still getting. It's 2,200, I think, out of a normal length barrel because I was looking.
Out of a 16
or 20, yeah. SKS is basically were 20. That was my big thing was SKS. HK, some of them were shorter. But usually they're about 14 inches were the shortest ones, I thought, until you got into the cranks.
Yeah, so you're probably not getting a temporary wound cavity out of this,
Yeah, but you're getting a 30 caliber hole.
Yeah, you're getting that.
Keep going, Zane.
So I don't have any experience hardly with AKs. I've shot them, obviously, but they're just. I don't know. I'm not a commie, so I shoot ARs. I have
a filthy face.
I got no problem with AKs. I want one. I want to get one eventually.
The AK is the only thing communism ever did that worked, and they're awesome.
No, I will not disagree with that. I will not disagree with that. I don't know. This is cool. The MSRP is pretty low. I don't know. I don't know much about AKs. I don't even know why I'm talking, to be honest.
So $650 is a reasonable price for what you're getting. And I don't know if it says in the thing because I've been on the road all day and didn't get a chance to actually check. But if it says it's out of the Polish radon factory, that's one of the more sought after manufacturers and whatever else. You guys can scroll through their stuff and see if it's in there.
It says the WBP Rogo.
Hold on, here we go, Chad. It all starts with a brand new FB Radom Steyr machine-produced military cold hammer forged line barrel.
So okay, so it's using the Radom barrel.
Yeah, you're talking about a pretty good barrel as far as like AK geekery goes, from what I understand. I'm not that far down the rabbit hole either, but I know that's one of the things that continually pops up in the comments when I go through their stuff. Is right away, oh, it's from Poland. Is it radon? That's one of the more sought after brands, we'll call it. 650 is not a terrible price point for that size. No. 10.5-inch barrel is pretty good. To me, I like the 10-inch length, even in the AR pistol. And we've talked about the ballistics there. To me, you're getting a good balance in compactness versus that shortness to power ratio. It's a good balancing point.
Mm-hmm. I like
short Dracos, and it burned all the hair off the back of my hand, so I'm not too cool with that one. But I think this is much more manageable, and certainly the ideal size for if you're going to convert to an SBR, this is a great place to start, and not that much more. You know what I mean? For another couple $100 plus your tax stamp, you're talking just over $1,000 for an SBR at AK.
Well, so what I'm thinking is I want to get an AK just for same reason I wanted to get a revolver, just for familiarity purposes. When I'm doing a class, if someone wants to, okay, fine, you can look at an AK, whatever, and I have one.
In an effort to be a more well-rounded instructor.
Exactly. I mean, there's no reason that even if I'm not like I own a 1911, and I'm not a huge fan of that platform.
You do not own a 1911. You own a Taurus.
No. No. I own a Rock Island 1911.
All right, I take that back.
But it's in 9mm, so it's not a true 1911. If someone makes I'm going to do some research, and if someone makes an underfolder pistol brace I'm gonna look into this because it seems to be pretty decent.
To my knowledge,
you
nobody's
notice
doing it yet.
Yeah, I'm not going to SBR, and I have no use for an AK pistol without something that I can brace the firearm to various parts of my body with.
They show it if you look on their site. They do show some with like a pistol brace on them.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, but underfolders are just sexy, right? So if you're gonna have an AK, it needs to be an underfolder because that's just sexy.
Or it's got to be. I don't know.
Yeah, here's the secret though. Beard guy thinks underfolders are sexy because he's never shot an underfolder with that beard.
Listen,
yes, or without a beard, it doesn't matter. It's an underfolder.
It's gonna be a Polish lady when you put that to your face.
Listen, even adjustable M4 style stocks rip my beard out, so I'm used to it. There's nothing that doesn't. Although I will say the CAC pistol. The not the tube, the brace. That one is the only thing that doesn't rip out my beard hairs. Of course, not shouldered, or maybe shouldered. I don't know what the current.
No, you're just putting your cheek on.
I don't know what the current opinion is right now. So,
who's afraid of the big bad ATF? Wait, what?
I mean, I'm not scared, but we're live on the internet.
I ain't scared, but I ain't gonna do anything to piss him off either.
Now, for you diehards, you could get it either with a wood foregrip or their polymer.
Actually, I think it says it comes with both.
I think it does.
It was optional.
Yeah, they're bringing it with both.
What the heck do I know? Jeez. Well, keep going, Tony.
Yeah, you're just the host, so you know nothing.
So that's probably about right.
Here's my thing with AK pistols and all. Get it, shoot it. Either short barrel rifle it, don't short barrel rifle it, put a pistol brace on it. It's all really effective. It's fun. It's a fun gun for the most part. But if anybody watched my page or saw a couple of other things, you saw the guy in Memphis this week shot 2 bad guys in his house with an AK.
Yep.
As his home defense rifle. So do what you want, but understand this is quite effective, especially in home defense distances. I don't even have to look up the ballistics. It's a 30 cal bullet screaming coming at you out of a 10-inch barrel. Just the flame alone should burn you and light your butt up to get you out of someone's home. But hey, I'd go with it. Underfolder's cool.
No need to mount a weapons light. You're gonna light up the room.
Yeah, it's going beyond.
And this comes with a rail, so throwing a dot on it. I mean, you can throw a dot on it right away. I mean, I like the idea of having a dot on a home defense gun, especially in the AK platform, because I do not like the AK irons, and I'm sure I'll get hate mail for that. But I don't like them.
I mean, it's understandable why you don't like them. I mean, they're like super small. I mean.
And it's a totally tiny little sight radius because the rear sight's all the way up there, and like just put a dot on it. Put a dot on it. I know, rifle is fine, but put a dot on it.
I'll co-sign on that. You know, I'm pretty much a purist, but yeah, I'll co-sign on that. There's no reason not to put it.
I'm just blind. No. Put a dot on everything.
Well, there's nothing wrong with being a purist, except when the upgrade is huge. And if you're going to use it, I mean, I'm starting to put dots on everything we have here just to introduce new shooters. But, I mean, it's huge on the home defense firearm because it allows you just to boom. Not even in comfortable positions. Don't even worry about the cheek well. The red dot is where the red dot needs to be. If it's on the target, pull the trigger. Also, you can fit a light onto that front of that pick rail also offset.
Yep.
So now it's a viable, short, portable home defense firearm. If you get something cool, like I think Gearworks makes something called a tail hook, that would look really cool on something like this. And if you can mate it up, with something like the Law folding tactical folder
with like a tail hook, yeah.
Now you have something small. It's not an underfolder, but it's almost a side folding wire stock, but it's not wire. It's much better and much sturdier. Just saying, something to look into if you have the time, the money, and just want to be really cool for the gram. Because it's all about Instagram.
And that is what it's about, is being cool on the gram.
Well, and if you can get video of you firing this thing with those flames, man,
And then
talk about the views you're gonna get.
and also speed it up. By the way, when you shoot it, just speed it up a little bit.
Yeah,
And your
Just looks
reloads.
like
You got to speed
Yeah.
up your reloads.
speed up your
worth many
reloads.
points.
Man,
Almost
I've been
as
doing
well.
it all wrong.
Oh yeah, I've been doing it really, really wrong.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we all decided that it's kind of cool. Okay. And kind of not cool. So I guess we can go on to something that some people think's cool and others are just like, why?
Everybody else is wrong. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm wrong. Soul Invictus Arms is bringing out the AA-12 in a semi-auto version. Now, right now you can pre-order it. And the MSRP is $3,000 to $3,250. It just depends on if you want the old kind of weird iron sights or if you want a red dot on it. So basically, this looks and is the original AA-12 auto shotgun in a semi-auto version. There isn't really much information on this thing except that they plan on releasing it, and it's kind of awesome with its drum magazine.
If you
Hey, Sean.
watch action movies
Sean.
from
Sean.
the 80s.
like the 80s, you know what gun we're
Sean.
talking about.
Sean.
I'm here.
You there,
I'm
Sean?
here.
Sean.
I know,
Can you,
Sean,
I know you're
Sean,
waiting on
Sean,
me, baby.
Sean,
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 can you-
Sean.
can you tell me
Sean,
about this
Sean.
gun?
This
Can
is
you
the
tell me
whole
about this
reason
gun?
I'm here, bro.
Yo, do it using Mac's voice from the weapons show. I forgot the name of it.
Geeks, Gadgets, Guns.
The
No.
AA-12 is one of the
No.
most powerful 12-gauge shotgun, fully automatic semi. I can't even pull it up. He like Mac had the whisper right on future
Yeah.
weapons, and that was the
Future
whole
weapons.
thing. This little
Yeah.
shotgun shell houses a heat-seeking, explosive, incendiary round that is more powerful than any round on the battlefield. You have no idea what you're messing with.
In a world
That's
dominated by subpar shotguns.
In a world where Zane has
Subpar
populated
shotgun.
pistol
Oh.
caliber pistols, you can be a man among men with the AA-12. Listen, my whole
Yeah.
thing with this is it should have happened 2 decades ago.
I'm
Yep.
I'm
Why
with
did they
you.
wait 20 years to do this? Of course there's a market for this. And of
Oh,
course
yeah.
it's stupid expensive,
Dude,
but
yeah.
they missed the boat by 20 years.
And
Like,
Sean,
if
Yeah,
you-
that's how.
So listen, if you have $3,000 laying around and you want the coolest thing in the world that serves no practical purpose at all, you need this because this is cool. But
Let me explain something. Let me
no,
explain something
no.
to you. And no, yeah,
Serves
yeah,
no
you're
practical
just
purpose.
wrong.
There is plenty of practical purpose
Yeah.
on a semi-automatic drum
Oh,
fed
yes, there is.
12-gauge shotgun.
there's
Well, with a
not.
drum magazine, yes.
No, this is dumb, but it's cool. Like listen, it's dumb and it's cool. Like I want one.
Hold
okay?
on, are we talking about
Listen.
Zane or are we talking about the shotgun? Dumb but cool.
No, we're talking about Florida
Listen,
Man.
listen. I want one of these really bad, but it's
You would hurt yourself if you bought it.
I'm
Oh,
so
yeah.
glad this is recorded.
Oh,
Listen.
Zane will be out with the flag waving, trying to freaking run a 20-round magazine through this thing, and will break his little bird chest, and he'll die happily.
No,
Well,
he'd
I
be
got to
fine
have a
because he'd be
bird
running
chest.
light loads through it.
Well,
Hopefully
it
it
may not
cycles on
cycle
those.
with light loads.
Why
For
do
those
have
of
a
you
bird
just tuning
chest?
in, I've been gone for 9 months and picked up right where we left off, beating Zane up over light shotgun loads.
Yeah, right.
How's this? Hey, Zane, you wondering why you have a bird chest? I don't know. Maybe your mom smoked when she was pregnant and you're a low birth weight baby.
We're doing mom jokes on the show
It's
now.
not mom jokes. It's talking about your mom's habit of smoking cigarettes. That's why you have a bird chest.
Now,
But here's the thing: it's $3,800. It makes as much sense as a semi-automatic belt-fed saw. It makes as
where can I get
much
one of those?
sense.
No,
My
no,
whole
I'm
thing
going to
is it
disagree.
makes as much sense. Hold on. It makes
Go
as
ahead.
much sense as that BAR that someone updated Ohio ordinance work, and you can buy that for another $3,000. It's just cool freaking guns. It's like this STG 44 that Hillen Hill and Mac is making.
Yep.
Yeah. It's just cool. It doesn't have to serve a practical purpose. Salient Arms bull crap doesn't serve a real practical purpose. It's just how, hey, dude, I heard you like gold. I put gold on your shotgun. It is.
We put gold on your gold so you can gold while you gold.
Okay, now
your
here's
shotgun. But this is so cool because it's been in all the movies. It's been in all the video games. Now it's a semi-automatic version. I think they were limited to what, 1,000 or 100.
to start with 1,000. I think.
Yeah,
I don't know exactly, but I do know that they are doing something with it. And to answer Sean's question, I think one of the reasons maybe they didn't do it 20 years ago was maybe there were patents on.
That's what I'm going to assume. There was patent issues.
I don't care who had patent issues. They should have made it in a semi-automatic version. Whoever had the patent on it.
And when Zane gets one of these, the first thing he needs to do with it is gold plate it.
Oh yeah, sure.
I'll give you the other reason.
You know
I'll give you the other reason they didn't do this 20 years ago. 20 years ago was 1998. We were 4 years into the 90s.
4 years into. Yep, you're right.
There would have been no market for it, right? It would have been neutered to 5 rounds or whatever, and that would completely suck the fun out of this thing. As someone who bought a Sega 12 semi-auto shotgun in the state of New Jersey, where you're limited to a 5-round magazine, detachable magazine on a shotgun, yeah, it sucks the life out of it. First thing I did when I hit PA was start buying drums for that sucker.
And they're fun, aren't they?
As someone who owns a magazine-fed semi-automatic shotgun, it brings the hate like nothing else.
So let me
go shoot skeet with a magazine-fed shotgun. Oh God!
I'm not talking about shooting skeet. That is not what this is for by any stretch of the right. This is not a sporting purpose firearm. This is a bring the hate firearm, right? If you're looking to just ruin something, this is what you use.
This is the shotgun that you put the sticker on that says, "What's your MF for wood?" That's the sticker that goes on the shotgun.
So I have 2 questions. First of which is, if they had done this, 20 years ago or whenever, would it really be as cool as it is now?
Yes.
If it was available, do you think it'd really be?
Yeah.
I think part of its coolness is the fact that we can't have it.
No.
I think that contributes to why it's so cool.
No, because
of what it is.
It was part of an evolution, right? If you go back, and the one that I would want even more than the AA-12 is the old Daewoo USAS-12, right? It looks like an AR on steroids.
Yep.
Everything about it has that general shape to it, but is just big and fat. And that was another one that was a 12 gauge semi-automatic select fire, right? It was imported from Korea. And you want to talk about the most not sporting shotgun ever. And that one, I can only think of like maybe 2 movies it's been in off the top of my head. And you see it for a blink of an eye and it's gone. And you're like, ooh. But yeah, that's like when we talk about dream guns, and if I hit the lottery and just have FU money, that's real high on my list. But this was the next step in that evolution for the Americans to push into that full auto shotgun, driving new kinds of shotgun shells. And there was like a fin stabilized explosive round that they developed with this that obviously we're not getting that ammunition, but the idea of a semi-automatic or select fire 12 gauge magazine fed shotgun. I'm telling you, if you guys haven't shot one, it's a whole different experience.
No, I understand what you're saying. My other question would be to when it comes to the practical purpose. My other question is, what is the MSRP on a Beretta 1301, and what is the reliability difference between tube fed? There's a reliability difference on tube fed and magazine fed when it comes to rimmed cartridges. Like,
what the hell are you talking about?
Automatic 12-gauge shotgun.
What the hell are you talking about?
Well, we're talking about a semi-automatic 12-gauge shotgun.
Okay, you're talking about a fully automatic shotgun that's been made semi-automatic. I think they got the action down pat on this.
Yeah.
That's why it uses a drum magazine, is because the shot shells feed out.
You don't get rim lock nearly like you do. So
they also put a track on the inside of that the rim rides in to ensure that it doesn't happen. Like it's a really, it's difficult to machine, but it's a simple fix mechanically.
Right. No, and that's what I'm saying. Practically there are other guns that do this gun's job. Now, that being said, this is still way cooler.
Go ahead and tell me how your Glock 19 does this job, Zane.
No, my Glock 19 doesn't do this job. But what I'm saying is it's cool, but it's more range toy cool than for realsy cool. But
So what?
You know. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like I have a 9mm. I got a 4.5 inch 9mm AR. All right, I'm totally okay with stuff that's just range cool.
Dismissive. That's all that is.
That's
Zane
what it is.
dismissive.
Because here's this.
Yeah.
Every 870 in the world has a better track record than your Beretta M4 or Beretta M2 because they've been out there longer. All right. So what are you going to compare track records to? It's been out there longer. Sorry, it's, the 500. Winchester 1300. All of that thing has a longer track record, millions of more rounds downrange than any of that. So just going by that is not right. This is a 25-year-old design. Initially, this is a single. This is now not full auto. It's a semi-auto. So it's all new. But in 1936, the Garand was new. They were like, "Hey, them 1903 can do everything this thing can't."
And like I'm saying, is you're not.
You don't
wrong.
get nearly the accuracy out of those autoloaders that you get out of my bolt action. That's just a fad; it'll never catch on.
Yeah. So I mean, if you're gonna really be practical, buy a Stevens shotgun for $145, and you got the most practical thing ever. Or buy an H&R brake barrel, and you're okay. So
probably not.
What is practicality compared?
What I'm not saying you're wrong when it comes to the track record stuff. What I'm saying is that you're going to see this start popping up on the shotgun sites for people touting this as the greatest thing since sliced bread for home defense, like they did with those stupid shockwave things and those pistol grip things. And I'm just simply making a point that it probably ain't that. That's all I'm saying. It's still cool. It's $3,000 and it's cool as hell. And now. That red dot they have in the picture, right? But that red dot they have on it in the picture, I'm wondering how in the hell you're going to get any kind of cheek weld and still see through that.
Well, I'm trying to figure out why they put it on that little riser thing.
It's on about an AR riser, but
I don't know either. I don't get it because that other mount is raised up, probably just mount it right to it. I don't know either.
Here's the other thing. The operating system in this is completely different than a lot of the other operating systems out there. This isn't recoil operated. And I want to say it's not even gas piston operated. I forget how it works, but it's not as recoil sensitive as other guns, right? Like with my Sega 12, if you don't have a good weld on that gun to give it a stable backstop, it's not going to cycle reliably. So you on the upside, a lot of smaller statured people sell them off because they can't get it to feed reliably. And then some big fat guy can come in and buy it cheap because it was used and they had a really bad experience with it and shoot the crap out of it and have a good time. That's not autobiographical or anything.
The other thing is the range of the other thing is the range of ammunition available for 12 gauge. You can get 12 gauge loads from everything from shooting Tweety to taking 747s out of the sky. There's a major range in ammunition,
right?
And a lot of guns.
Specifically, to me, the operating system of this makes it a lot less finicky across that spectrum too, right?
Right.
I'm trying to figure out what kind of
short grass loads do not work well in a Sega 12. In this, you can feed it whatever the hell you want, and it just eats it up and runs and spits it out, and it's a really fantastically reliable system. You can fire it one-handed, even. And the semi-auto action cycles reliably. I mean, it takes that little backstop. So
I'm looking at this, and I'm looking at the Salient Arms Benelli M2 package for $3,295. And really, it comes down to cool points when you get there because a Benelli M2 by itself is a dependable shotgun. But now you just want to have the coolest, again, pimp my ride thing out there on the planet.
I don't think you can even compare it to that. To me, this is more in the ballpark of the Origin 12, which is still, $1,000 less.
Okay.
And that was the only reason I got excited about the Origin was because the Origin was so much closer to the Daewoo USAS 12 than anything else that was on the market at the time. The problem was they were being pretty much custom built in the beginning, and their backlog in delivering product was forever and a day.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to interrupt.
I'm also curious to see if the price on this comes down from what they're initially speculating, because that's my only beef with this is the price is way higher than what it ought to be. It's a plastic fantastic, right? That's a polymer shell on the gun. That should not be that expensive. It's also not a really intricate system. This is a pretty plain Jane. Like it, look at it.
So
it looks like some first year CAD design.
So according to Wikipedia, the original AA-12, right, the automatic version, so I don't know if they changed the operating system for the semi, is an advanced primer ignition blowback system, which means that the primer is ignited while the bolt is still moving forward and before the cartridge is fully chambered. So it's basically blowback that is designed to fire slightly out of battery. That's what it sounds like.
Right. Almost like an open bolt machine gun.
Almost like an open bolt machine gun. Very similar to open bolt. Which makes sense because it was originally designed as an automatic 12 gauge. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm fairly confident this is going to fire from the closed bolt. Well, not when you talk about how much lower pressure shotgun shells are than cartridges.
Yeah. But I mean, it sounds scary.
But the other thing is it's just timing issues. So it doesn't actually fall the hammer until it's, say, 3/4 of the way into batteries. So it's probably going to be, it is fine. It just, I can see why Zane might be scared of it.
That's not that I'm scared. It just sounds scary when you talk about a 12 gauge going off before the cartridge is fully chambered. That sounds
Florida man fear what he don't understand.
Scary.
Florida man fear what he don't understand.
Listen, I used to reload 12 gauge. Listen, I used to hand load 12 gauge. I have all the equipment to do it. I know the pressures are very low. I have two different presses in my shed right now for reloading 12 gauge. I understand the pressures are very low. For? I'm just saying, that's just, you read it, it sounds scary.
Because he's got a loader in his garage to make a low recoil 12 gauge.
Actually,
why else would
I have made low recoil 12 gauge and I have made high recoil 12 gauge. I've made rounds. I've made all kinds of stuff.
His powder measure has a stack of dimes in it to keep it from putting too much powder into the shell.
It also has some marshmallow fluff in the refrigerator that he puts in there too, so it doesn't recoil as hard.
Listen, all I'm saying is when you read that the cartridge is ignited before it's fully chambered, that just sounds a little scary.
Well, that's what you get for being all uppity and reading.
I guess there's that.
Well, is he actually? Are we sure he's reading?
Now you fancy Florida man.
And to be fair, that's from Wikipedia, so we all know how reliable Wikipedia is.
Yeah, I think he made it up, but he can't read.
No, that sounds accurate, and I remember, it's been a long time, but my whole beef with this is the price, right? The tooling all exists already. It's not like this is really a new from the ground up thing. It's been around for decades. They're just converting a full auto to a semi-auto. It should not be that difficult.
Hey, but people are going to spend that. They're going to spend it.
Well, I think you throw a number out there and you see what happens. Again,
everybody wants to be Terry Crews for Halloween this year.
Yeah, buddy.
Dude, that is so cool.
Heck, and body dropping with an AA-12.
Dude,
and now
I'm just shooting at towers trying to make them blow up for no reason with a shotgun.
Nice.
You got to fire it from the hip, though, Tony.
No, I totally want one. I'm just totally not going to spend $3,800 on one.
I have no idea.
If you pre-order one between now and October 1st, they'll put you in a drawing to determine if you can get serial number 1 through 10.
I don't care. If they could get the price, kind of like Sean's saying, if they could get the price under $1,000 on this, I think.
If it was $1,000, people would still buy them like hotcakes.
Yeah.
If it was $1,000, I'd buy 2. Realistically, I don't. I think the lowest you're going to see this is right under $2,000, if it even gets that low.
I'm thinking
$1,800 to $1,900. I'm thinking the bottom this is going to hit just because of other things in the class.
$2,500, I think.
Nope. I don't even buy that. I really believe that the initial few will sell. I think it'll end up going out like the Bren 10, but quicker. You'll be able to get the shotgun and maybe a mag, or a shotgun and no mag, and a letter of excuse from the company. I really think, because it's so expensive, they've been trying to do this for years. They've been going in and out. I don't know if it's ready for prime time yet. I'm not sure it's ready to jump out with all the accessories and everything ready to go. And I wouldn't be surprised if you still spend over $3,000 on this thing and get it in a cardboard box still.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, if they could get the price under $1,000, this thing would sell like hotcakes. I mean, I'd even really consider buying one.
If they got
Yeah,
this
and
under $1,000, they couldn't keep them in stock. They'd have to have
Yeah. Right.
entire lines just dedicated to this.
And at that point, the
It would-
bigger problem, like you said, is going to be support items, magazines,
Yep.
drums, all that stuff that goes with it, right? Replacement
break.
parts. Is
Parts
Yep.
of break, yep.
absolutely.
And really,
Absolutely.
how many rounds went through the original? How much of this design that is current is the same design as the original that went through whatever torture test they put it through? You know what I mean? Just because it looks the same on the outside, they had to change a lot of stuff to make it semi-automatic operation. So did they change enough that it's not even the same gun on the inside?
Well, and I'm sure they're changing where the round cooks off too, in the cycle of the bolt stroke, right? Because Zane's getting twitchy, so we gotta
getting
do that from
twitchy.
a closed bolt.
Here's another
Hey,
question I have. So normally I would be like part of the bump stocks are completely stupid group, but in this firearms case, I want a bump stock on this.
Gosh.
I'm just saying, who doesn't? Does anybody on the panel not want a bump stock on this?
Me,
Why?
Yeah, me-
That would kill you.
No,
because
I just
because
want to
I'll
go
tell you,
full
it's
on.
completely unnecessary.
it really
Because
is.
these are going to be really easy to bump fire without
Well,
a bump stock.
and
You
not
won't
only
need
that,
to
I think
bother.
the original fired at like 300 rounds per minute, even in full auto. So
Yeah.
I could probably jerk the trigger that fast.
Yo, Zane just went all FPS Russia. You know what would
Yep.
be good on these? A bumper stock and shooting gas cans from under my cameraman.
Bump stock is nice. Bump stock is very nice.
We have filled the refrigerator with gasoline and tannerite. What could possibly go wrong?
I've
We
shot a
wrap in
refrigerator
barbed
before.
wire and aluminum and park 6 ride-on lawnmowers next to it. Stand by as we open fire.
Isn't that guy in jail, or is he out of jail?
Actually,
I don't know.
he's in worse than jail. He's in no one's seen him and no one cares, which is horrible for someone that was made all their money on YouTube. That really he's in a place called Irrelevance, because he never made anything serious enough to be taken serious by gun guys, and
Man.
he appealed to the dudes that just wanted to see people blow stuff up. Well, immediately when you stop blowing stuff up for like a month or two, you just got
Florida
replaced
man.
You got replaced by Demolition Ranch and everybody
all,
and Tell Flight of Mouse
Sean,
and everybody else.
He's from Georgia. He's not from, and not the country, Georgia the state. And he's not from Florida. And
I never said he was from Florida, but his
You
audience
said-
was from Florida.
Well, all right. I'll give you that one.
The prosecution rests, Your Honor.
I don't have a
Okay.
good reason for that.
Well, since you rest, we don't have any listener feedback.
Oh, but we will next week.
Oh, probably.
You are
Okay.
welcome.
Hold on. FPS Russia was stupid. He was as stupid and sucked as bad as bump stocks. Now,
Oh,
let's
geez.
launch right into the second is for everyone and what's going on Thursday.
That's
It's Thursday.
June 7th, Second is for Everyone Diversity Shoot is going to take place in Woodland Park, New Jersey at Gun for Hire range, 6 p.m. Sean is going to be there. We got people working the door. We got people working the range. We have pizza. We're going to have fun. We're going to have a lot of guns for people to shoot. I'm bringing a 357 Magnum 686 from Smith & Wesson that had its polish job done by Patriot Gun Polish from Florida. It's coming out. We're also going to have Rob's rifle, Adams Arms Upper, really cool stuff like the Stinger from Matador Arms. So if you want to check it out, see what that's all about. It's going to be there. Renegade Ammunition donated a Habu charging handle. You know, the thing all the serious trainers says suck. I say that works pretty darn good. It doesn't hang up on your gear. What else? Oh, and it's got the really awesome trigger from Trojan Firearms. So we're going to have some cool guns from me. We're going to have the AR-15. I mean, not AR-15, the High Point 995 with a red dot on it, donated by High Point Firearms. It's going to be there. So we're going to send some 9mm down the range. We're going to send some 38s down the range. We're going to send some 5.56 down the range. We're going to have food. We're going to have fun. We're going to have first 10 people through the door get $20 giveaway bag. We have, boom, right here already set up $100 gift bags for the raffle. So it's going to be a lot of cool stuff. Hope to see you guys there. Go to Eventbrite, buy a ticket. If you don't buy a ticket on Eventbrite, but you want to support it, you either go through Sean, buy the parts at blackbagresources.com, or the GoFundMe, or our Patreon. You can do all that. And you can also listen to Second is for Everyone podcasts, wherever your podcast app is. We're on a bunch of them. But iTunes and Streaker are the two I know off the top of my head that a lot of people have. Thanks, as always, for letting me come through here. I strolled right in right after the polls closed, and got here just in time for the start of the show. Hope a bunch of you guys out there voted. California, South Dakota, Montana. I forgot what else, but hope you guys voted today in your primaries, because New Jersey didn't do crap. Most New Jerseyans sat out.
Well, that sucks. So I guess we're on to the wrap up now that Tony's done. Send questions, comments, feedback to gungearreview@gmail.com. Put them attention Zane, if that's who you're yelling about. Remember
attention Sean.
Remember, no, those you can just send to Black Bag Resources.
Sean, SEAN at blackbagresources.com. I love hate mail. Send me all you want.
Remember to subscribe and leave us an iTunes review. Check out all the other shows on the Firearms Radio Network at firearmsradio.tv. Be sure to visit the Firearms Insider for reviews and industry coverage. Check us out on Facebook at /Firearms Insider, and follow us at Firearm Insider on Instagram. And thanks for listening to the largest pound for pound podcast on the network. And we are out.
Bye, Felicia. You guys missed me. Admit it.